Hey, what's up guys? This is T-Bone here. Welcome back to another episode of playing Gemstone Legends. In today's video, I'm going to talk about Zarya. I got her a long time ago. We've actually, this was a hero that we got a long time ago and never got a chance to actually showcase her. And in one of the videos, one of the comments, somebody had asked, am I going to show Zarya? And I thought, why not? Let's go ahead and take a look at her skills and let's try her out and understand how we can gear her and where she is strong at. So if we take a look at her skills, she is a warlock, so she doesn't actually deal any damage with her skills. And so what she does do though is she inflicts burn, snare, and status block. So burn is a skill that lasts, it's what we call a DOT, damage over time, and it will inflict burn, which takes out 6% health every turn. Snare will take out 30% of health based on missing health after the number of turns. So in this case, after 3 turns, Snare is going to activate and deal 30% of the missing health to the opponent. Status block is going to prevent anybody from being able to get positive stats. Very useful skill. Her passive ability gives her 100% chance to remove 1 positive stats from one enemy when you use gemstones to attack. But if that enemy is protected by souling, then you can actually remove 2 positive stats. She's also immune to curse and decreased speed, and she has a mana gain increase when you give her level 7 passive ability. And so what did I do based on that information? Well, I decided to actually gear her with Bandit. And so this is something I wanted to talk about, right? So if we go to equipment, we can take a look at the artifacts and what they do. So the first thing to note is that she doesn't actually deal any damage with her skill. Okay, and so there are sets that will do negative, stats based on some damage, active skill damage, and you can see one of them, for example, is Daze. So Daze will inflict stun on heroes whenever you damage with special ability, so you can't really use that. If you wanted to use let's say Run actually inflicts heal block, but also when you have damage dealt based on special ability, so you can't use that either. And so the other artifacts you can use are, for example, Hope, Vampire, or Bandit is one. And I decided Bandit is actually something I wanted to try out because you could strip additional negative stats, okay? And so if you take a look at her, what Bandit does is it's 100% chance to remove 2 positive effects. And so what this will do is actually after her passive ability comes into play, she will actually activate the ability from her set to actually strip away more positive stats. So that's what I decided to go with, and we can see how that goes. Zarya also will benefit from more health and defense, so I decided to put a little bit of health and a little bit of defense in her, and you definitely want to put accuracy in her. She's a warlock. You definitely want to make sure that you give her accuracy, okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to go jump into a Infernal level so we can show her skills, and maybe we can take a look at an arena fight. Let's do a giveaway of code. So it's going to be T_bone_gaming. T-Bone Gaming is going to be the code here. Go ahead and confirm, and then you're going to get yourself some energy as well as some arena tokens. So just like last time when I used Infernal levels to show Hanya's skill, I thought that it might be good to use the same setting to test out Zarya as well. So I have in here Najar, who is a taunting hero that is going to help protect Zarya as well, being that she is a warlock and not a tank. And we have Morena and Vepris here. I think that Zarya and Vepris actually has pretty good synergy as well. And so let's see how that's going to work out. I'm bringing in some mana pots in here so that I can show you Zarya's skill in different situations. So let's go in and jump into a fight. So we are going to be starting out starting the fight, which is going to be in our advantage right now, because what I can do is I can show you various different things here. First, we're going to deal some damage to our enemies, so you can see the difference between the damage. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use a pot on Zarya so you can see what this is going to be like. So she's going to cast Burn, and she's going to also cast 1 stack of Snare. And so if you just hold and press any enemy with any status, you can actually see what those stats mean. So that's a little tip in case you didn't know. You can press and hold any hero and you can see more details. So this Goblin Peon has now Freeze, Burn, Snare, and Status Block. So Snare deals damage based on 30% of their missing HP. The less health they have, the more damage they'll get after 3 turns. Now the thing with Snare is that it actually stacks. So I'm going to use up a little bit, it's a little bit of a waste, but I'm going to go ahead and use multiple, I'm going to show you that it stacks here. So we have 2 stacks of snare now that is going to expire after 3 turns. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and let this go now, and we'll see how, we'll see what this is going to be like. Now, one thing I do want to be careful of is I don't want to lose, you wouldn't want to lose your heroes. So it'll be a good idea for you to actually use Najar. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you now, again, using another pot here, because I have to show you the difference here. If you were to use Zarya again, you will see that she's going to land an additional stack of snare, but this is going to now have 3 turns counter. So if you don't use your snares in the same same turn, then it's not going to happen at the same time. But what this does mean is the more often you can cast snare, the more often your opponents are going to lose damage over time when it's their turn. And so in these situations where you are most likely going to be waiting for your a lot of times you sort of wait for the opponents to go because they're really fast, or you're, just there's a lot of them that kind of go one after another. You can see that they'll continue to get dealt damage over time. And so that is something that you can then use to your advantage. And you can see here, I did end up losing Streetbog, unfortunately, because he is a blue hero that got attacked by our green Infernal enemies, but that's actually okay. This is not intended to show you how we can beat the level, but just to show you the skill from Zarya. So here we have another situation I wanted to call out, and that is you can see that we have Floki here who is ready to use his skill. His ability gives him a increased speed as well as spell shield, but because there is status block on here, he's not going to be able to cast it, and you're going to be able to see that. So I'm not going to freeze him. I'm just going to go ahead and use my gem matches, and you can see he's going to use his ability, but both of them is going to be blocked. In fact, anyone who has status block is not going to be able to get the benefit of increased speed as well as the spell shield. So it was a 50% chance of getting it, of casting it from Zarya's perspective, but when it lands, it can be very effective. And this is an area of effect, skill. And so being able to block most of your enemies, or almost all of your enemies from being able to use that skill, I think is it is very powerful. It is definitely very powerful here. And you can see that Zarya once more has gone ahead and taken out the positive stats. And on top of that, she is casting multiple stacks of burn. Don't forget that burn can be very devastating as well, because over time they are literally burning, they're losing health as well on top of that with the burn. Every time they have burn, they are losing 6% of health as well, and because it stacks, you can really see that this can really take down their health over time. So she really is one of those heroes that's all about over time, slow burn, slow death. And you can see we were able to take out 3 opponents just now with that skill. And so we're going to go ahead and clear out this level with the Assassin's Mark. So I think that Zarya has really, really good skills if you can use her effectively. And I actually really do like her. I think that if you gear her right, if you make her strong, if you make her, you can make her fast, you can make her strong, but you definitely want to make sure that she can survive hits. Warlocks, they definitely benefit from being behind a tank, but she is going to get hit. And so you want to make sure she has enough defense and health to survive those hits while continuing to cast those skills. So accuracy is definitely going to be the most important there. So let's try an arena fight here. I'm actually bringing Necros here instead of Marina, who I usually use, because this is a Leo Nefre combo, and I also want to prevent revive if possible. But we're going to try and see what we can do with Zarya, with her skill, how it works in an arena setting, whether it's effective or not. So let's go ahead and jump into a fight here. This is my rainbow setup here, so you can see I have basically all 5 colors with basically all 5 affinities in here. And what's nice here is I can see that they don't have charge set, so I don't have to worry about that. And as long as I can keep Necros alive, there's going to be no revive possibility. So let's go ahead and get things started. We're going to target down, we're going to target our damage on we're going to target damage on Taiko-san for now. Okay, just because if we do, then that prevents him from being able to stun us. And because there is no chance for them to be able to get the light gems, yellow gems, they can't heal Taiko-san either. Okay, so we're going to continue to whittle down their health. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this opportunity to also show you how Zarya will work now in this setting, right? So what we can do is we're going to stack burn, and we're going to prevent them from having positive stats, and also having snare on them means that if they were to go after a couple of turns, they will definitely be dealt with a lot of damage. And what we can do here is we're gonna go, and I can't actually get, unfortunately, I will not be able to get Zarya's skill to go more than once. So we're just gonna go ahead and try and take out Zarkon and Taiko-san. That's going to be our focus here, because they could deal a lot of, they could actually be very devastating. Okay, but I actually kind of feel like I might actually end up taking out, I may actually be able to take them out just with the stacks of Assassin's Mark I have on them. But what we're going to do is we are going to just wait a little bit, because I think that what I can do is if I freeze him, I'm going to end up killing everyone, I think. But okay, so what I can do here is I tried to freeze him, but it didn't work out. So that's okay. We're going to go ahead and just keep it going here. We are going to get hit by a turn here, and I'm just waiting for the snare to run out. And I think that the key here is, you know, in situations where you are actually a lot slower than your opponent, that's actually where Zarya is going to come in handy, because right now, as you can see, what's happening here is I'm actually not able to really take advantage of Zarya's skill as much, because I'm actually faster than them. And so you don't actually see the snare come into play until just now, right? So you saw that both Nefre and also Guinevere losing all of their health because of a combination of burn and also snare coming to play. And so I think that, you know, if you're up against fast opponents, having ability to get your get Zarya's skill off in the beginning is going to be beneficial for you, because it helps you as they continue to have their turn. They will lose their health over time, and so that is one way to sort of counteract that. And I think that was sort of the intent of Zarya when she was introduced, having that, and that's what snare is all about, is to be able to damage your opponents when they are faster than you or when they continue to go. That's one way to sort of counteract that. At least that's how I feel. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about Zarya. So hopefully this helps you also understand a little bit about her skills. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think about her skill set. If you used her in Arena or if you use her in other settings, what do you think? I think she'll be also very useful in wars. Let me know. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Anyways, that's going to be it from me for tonight, guys. Thank you very much. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now.